Hey guys, this is just a quick review of making the answer key basically available for you with me talking through the problems. But I'm just going to fill in the first couple here. So you have those. It's true, false, true, true. The reason why number 2 is false, it says if two inscribed angles intercept the same arc, then they are complementary. They just say then they are congruent to each other. So pretty easy to fix. And I also want you to know the standard or form of the equation of a circle with the center HK and the radius. This is one you should have memorized. X minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals our radius squared. This is the only form of an equation of a circle you're going to work with this year. You will see long advanced forms later, but this is the basics that you're going to get. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to write the equation of the circle from the given information. So that means this is going to be h, this is going to be k, here's your radius, right? So when I do this, I'm going to plug it in. X minus h squared plus the quantity y minus k squared equals the radius squared. So I get x minus 5 squared plus the quantity y plus 3 squared equals 6 squared, which is 36. That's your first one. And then we plug it in with our others. We have here, this is going to be our h, this is going to be our k, our radius is 3 root 2. Please be careful, just put off the side here. Remember, when you are squaring 3 root 2, that's the same thing as going 3 root 2 times 3 root 2. That's going to give you 9 times 2, which is 18. So don't forget to carefully square those. And if you have a 0 for either your h or k, you don't even have to plug it into the value. So your equation would be x squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 18. Now the next one is I gave you the endpoints, and if I give you the endpoints, you have to find the center. So first, the endpoints of a diameter, which we know the midpoint's the center. So first find the midpoint, aka center. Okay, make sure you know that. So when I work with that, I go, all right, I get here 5 plus a negative 15 over 2, and I end up getting 3 plus a negative 9 over 2. Average of the x's, average of the y's. And so I end up getting a negative 5, negative 3 when I have those. So then, really, the equation of my circle looks something like this. X plus 5 squared plus the quantity y plus 3 squared. Remember, if I'm subtracting a negative, it makes it positive, equals my radius squared. What's missing is my radius. Well, remember the equation of a circle is found by using the distance formula. And so I just want to find the distance from the center to one of the endpoints. So you just pick one of these and you plug it in. So I'm going to pick the first point as my x and my y because I know they work in this equation. So I go 5 plus 5 squared. And then here I'm going to end up going 3 plus 3 squared. Now some of you did this a lot in Algebra 1, like using always the slope-intercept form. This was the thought process kind of behind that. So I get here 10 squared plus 6 squared equals the radius squared. So that's 100 plus 36. Your radius squared is 136. Now I'm not going to take the square root of both sides because the equation of a circle once, remember, I'm going to write the form that once the radius squared. I have it. I don't have to go any further. So I go x plus 5 squared plus y plus that quantity, plus the quantity y plus 3 squared equals 136. There's your equation of a circle. You will see this type of question on the test. I'm not hiding it from you. You will see this. Make sure you really study the notes well on there. Sorry that slid down on me. All right, now the next one is using the process of completing the square. Now when we do this, we're going to rewrite things, and we're going to use, this is something you use to actually help derive the quadratic formula, and it's a little bit harder. But remember the process that we did first. First of all, we group things together, and we put all of our constants on the same side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go x squared plus 5x, and I know I'm going to have to use completing the square on the x, so I go plus blank, plus y squared minus 4y plus blank equals, if I move the 4 over, the negative 4 over, it's a positive 2, and I go plus blank plus blank. And the reason why is if I put it here, I have to put it on the other side, so I don't change the value of my equation. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look at your term in front of your x, your coefficient for the x. And I look at that and I said, okay, what do? You take that value and divide it by 2. Then you square it. So that gives me over here 25 over 4. So I get 25 over 4. Then I come over here and I look at my negative 4. I do the same idea, but I go negative 4 divided by 2 and I square it. Well, negative 4 divided by 2 is a negative 2. A negative 2 squared is a positive 4. Right? And so I get a 4 over here. Now I'm to the point where I can rewrite my equation, but one of the things I'm going to have to do in order to rewrite this equation is to get this all with a common denominator, and we're going to rewrite it as an improper fraction. So first of all, I'm going to rewrite this one as 8 over 4. And I'm going to rewrite this one as 16 over 4. It makes it a lot easier for me just to add the numerators across. Also, remember we're using the process of completing the square. It's using the perfect square binomial idea. I wrote these with that in mind. So here, they're both positive. So I know it's going to be a positive. So I'm going to go x plus, and it's really this number right here every single time. So that's 5 over 2 squared plus the quantity. Now I'm going to use a grouping for this one, and I'm going to go y minus, what's a negative 4 divided by 2? A negative 2. So it's just minus 2 squared equals whatever my radius squared is. So 8 plus 25 is going to be 33, plus 16 is 49. And that's all going to be over 4. So that's your final equation. Now I want you to pull out your h and k, okay? And make sure your h is first. I get here, and remember my quantity, the original problem is minus h minus k, so these are going to be opposite of what you see here. So I get a negative 5/2 with a positive 2. And my radius ends up being the square root of 49 over 4, and it's easier to rewrite it like this, which gives me 7 over 2. So that helps me with the completing the square process. This we did on block day, and so you need to make sure you know how to do these. There are none on your review sheet, so this was a great practice for you guys to use. Now let's go on to the next page.